It's the book of Matthew, beginning at verse 1, and it reads, And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Skipping to verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Verse 14, And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakodos B'katam. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwathani Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, which appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So, I came across this article in the spirit of prophecy, because the prophecies talk about in the last days violence shall take place on the earth. Talks about how in the days of Noah was a lot of violence, and in the last days there would be violence. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that because in that Matthew 24 it said this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached, and then the end shall come. So this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, and it reads 2 Timothy 3 and 1, and it reads, This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Holy means to be kodash, meaning separated or separate. These people are all in the world. People that actually try not to be a part of the world is, the brothers in the truth, the body, the church. Verse 3, without natural affection, that's the point. Truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. That's the point I really wanted. But as you go on, it says traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Going into that do as thou will spirit. Do whatever you will, long as you, makes you feel good, which is off, Because contrary to what this red Hebrew Edomite has explained to, these people, or how they broke down the scriptures, really trying to get them to go off. Literally, the Most High God has a way he expects the people in the world to be ran. It reads, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. These false pastors that tell you that you can, eat whatever you want. The law is done away with. But it tells you that we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Tells you in the scriptures in the on one of the gospels, Yahweh he said he came not to break the law but to fulfill. So Yahweh kept all the laws. So if we are his disciples, his students, why wouldn't we? And it tells you in the scriptures that the servant is not greater than his master. So if Yahweh kept the laws, although, we know the law won't save us, I don't want to, Because, people try to use your speech and switch up words, and you know what I mean. So you got to be, real straightforward with your words. But we know the law won't save us. The grace and the belief of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is what's going to save us. But being that we have grace, that doesn't mean we just basically break the law. So again, I saw because we're in the spirit of prophecy, and it talks about in the last days there's going to be a lot of violence, and I've been hearing nothing but reports about violence, day in, day out. So I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakadas B'Katam. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, which may even appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. This is Brother Yawasap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And Scripture talk about how they're not going to regard their kings or princes, these people in authority. So this ain't the first situation or incident of these officials, these law enforcement officers being shot at. And I think I did a video. I think in Mexico, where the tribe of Iskar is basically majority located, they was taking out the police officers. You know what I mean? So, in the last day, truly violence has actually increased on the earth because iniquity, because the sin upon sin has increased. The love of many shall wax cold, meaning people, going to be heartless. I was just listening to that guy, the baby, and he was saying he ain't going to wear ice no more because his heart's so cold. You know what I mean? That's the spirit that I just came across this article too. So it says, October 12th, 3 Philadelphia police SWAT officers, these weren't even a regular, these are the elite of the police department, were shot at a home early Wednesday while serving a homicide warrant, and a 19-year-old inside the home was killed. So they took him out, but he shot 3 of them. 3 Philadelphia police SWAT officers were shot Wednesday while serving a warrant in North Philadelphia. 1 officer was struck in the chest, 1 in the leg, and 1 in the hip while serving the warrant in North Philadelphia's Poplar section just after 6 a.m. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney said the officers were doing well while being treated at Jefferson University Hospital. And that's not the point. Everything is the will of the Lord. It tells you in the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 20, to the Most High belongs the issues of death. So the Most High can take your life, or he can, keep your spirit in your body. I forgot, I think that was Hezekiah that basically begged the Lord for more time, and the Lord gave him like 10 more years, roughly paraphrased. Or I might be off a little bit, Salaki, I'm half asleep, still at this job, and, been a rough week. Police said Lee was shot in the head. Salaki, the focus of the warrant was 19-year-old Rakeem Lee, who was wanted for homicide and multiple armed robberies. Police said Lee was shot in the head and pronounced dead just after 7:30 a.m. They got there at 6, and that took them an hour and a half to get that off. And I was just listening to a video the elder Manata Zakba from South Carolina was going into, and he was just talking about like what's all going on in the world, and 2/3 of our people, look what kind of spirit they in. He showed the video where you had the 2 fucking demons spitting, and you had the one chick spitting in the other chick's mouth, she catching it. You had the guy finesse 2 times. Which is so spiritual about that, because I had just got hip to that guy like maybe a couple weeks prior to the elder doing a video about it. Just all the things going on and what Jake is into. Jake is into the wrong thing. Scriptures talk about being circumspect, because the days are evil. But Jake is in that do as thou will spirit, and that's why 2/3 are going to fall into calamity. As basically the way Esau wants. It says Deputy Police Commissioner John Stanford said that police took on gunfire through the door and window of the home as they attempted to knock and announce their presence. The shooter then ran through the home and tried to flee out the back. Stanford said officers there then exchanged gunfire with the suspect hitting him. But let me make sure something is perfectly clear. It is not the job of our officers to be shot at. You hear this shit? It is your job, though. You know what I mean? Y'all shoot at people. And, the thing is this. These men and women signed up for a dangerous job. The reason why they want to stress this now is because there's a lack of police officers. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. And you're going to have more and more incidents like this happening. You know, it's one thing when you got the power, but when the power is waning, then what? I've never heard of no statement like that. Oh yeah, they supposed to get the fuck you mean? You know, it's many people that have been shot by these police officers that haven't even had a weapon. You know, and you know that what's that dude name? In Ferguson, George Floyd. You know, he didn't have a weapon, but just got choked out in broad daylight. And I don't know if it was a psych op or what. You know, it could have been a ritual. You know what I mean? It could have been anything. You know, there's so much shit be going on. Like I said, I just paid attention to. I know I've heard one set of information and then go ahead and then hear information that contradicts what I originally. And I can see that. You know, there's a lot of balls of confusion out here. You know, and you know, information is power. You know, they want you either lost in the sauce, entertained with bread and circus, or confused. Because there's a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean? It says, but let me make. It says, let me make something perfectly clear. It's not the job of our officers to be shot at. It is not their job to be stabbed, spat upon, accosted, or attacked in any kind of way. Commissioner Danielle Outlaw said. Outlaw. That sounds like a fake ass name. That made me think of the brother Cora Moth because he was like, yeah, it's like they ain't even trying to come up with those. This bitch named Outlaw. But because of that statement, made me get the scripture, 2 Ezra chapter 15, and it reads, verse 14, and it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, meaning uprisings. Among men invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So these governors, these mayors, these police officers, people in authority, they're not going to regard them. And that's why this guy could just shoot these officers without any problem. And you're going to have more and more situations like that happening. And the course of their actions is standing their power. You know what I mean? He took it upon himself. Yeah, I'm not halting. I'm not, I'm going to resist. Fuck you people. Continuing in verse 18, it reads, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because it's going to be a lot of violence out here. Again, going back to, Matthew chapter 24. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And then because I read that, it talks about in Isaiah, because it said men shall be invading one another. Isaiah 19 verse 2, it reads, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So you already got these people, because the day of Jacob's trouble, that's when Esau gonna blow down, but it's gonna be Esau fight Esau as well. That's the Egyptian versus Egyptian, and then what's the 2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 5, talking about the lawlessness. 2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 5, and I'm gonna get to the point. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 9. I'm gonna start at verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. The wild beasts shall change their places, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters. We've seen these animals literally that you are used to, like the mountain lions that are usually in the mountains, basically roaming around like wolves. We've seen all kind of animals displaced from what their normal habitat is. I've been seeing deer in my neighborhood for the last probably like 15 years. No matter where I move, and I'm moving in the inner cities, I see some kind of deer. And in a way that's lightweight, reassuring, because the Lord's showing us showing me we can, he's going to take care of us and feed us. But to be honest, we not Esau. I don't know how to dress a deer. You know what I mean? Maybe these are things that, because the Lord will put on your spirit what you need to know, Certain brothers learning how to start fires and whatnot. That's going to be a skill that will be highly sought after, in that day of trouble. And those monsters that these women going to bring forth are, these, I was watching a video of the elder apostle Tahar, I think reposted or posted. I think I seen a video before, but he was showing, this Edomite that basically cut off his nose and, did all this surgery on himself. This dude literally got, a legion of demons on him, and he ain't the only one. You got these Edomites that do all this forward, that, like I said, that agenda of do as thou wilt, lovers of their own pleasures. You got Edomites that get off from pain. That's a demon in itself. You know what I mean? Pain is supposed to help you recognize something's wrong. If you getting off on it, that's something wrong with your ass. You know what I'm saying? Demonic shit. It says, verse 9, and salt water shall be found in sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, meaning this understanding, and understanding withdraw itself into its secret chambers, because Scripture talks about how the Most High is going to make our tongues cleave to the roof of our mouths. It's going to be a famine of hearing the word of the Most High. Verse 10, and shall be sought of many, because people going to want to know what's going on, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency, meaning a lack of self-restraint or control or lawlessness, be multiplied upon the earth. And with these police officers, and you got individuals shooting at them like this, like every time a situation like this happens, when it becomes more gang members than police officers, this ain't that movie Judge Dredd where two motherfuckers go in a building and just, you know what I mean? That's a movie. You got to remember, these police officers got families and shit too. And Esau is naturally a fucking coward. You know what I mean? Real shit though. You know what I mean? Like, Esau is naturally a coward. That's why literally he didn't really want to really go to war with Gad until he actually came up with that Gatling gun. Because Gad was whooping his ass. So, I'm going to just end it with this, because at the end of the day, Scripture talks about, the vision is yet for a appointed time. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will shortly come and it will not tarry. And that goes into that C-hip, that woe or World War III, and, the increase in violence that we're seeing now. Look at that shit. So it's an error of 3.7 billion. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright him. Salakia. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So with the times that's coming, the just that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua of the hopeful elect are going to, live by their faith, because that's all we really truly have. Our testimonies and our faith and our integrity. You might give up everything you physically own on this side. And the Lord has done that in the book of Job. Because you're going to keep your integrity. So, we coming into them times, them evil days, meaning bad times. And if you're a true believer, just, I pray all the sincere Akim, the Lord put that increase of that faith. Brother made a statement, said you should always constantly pray for fear and faith. Because if you always fear the Most High, you going to always do what's pleasing to him. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And we going to need, big faith for the days that's coming. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of your power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, B'Shem from honors to my high apostles, the elders of Great Millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives, as well as their risking their lives, as well as their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. And watch, blah, blah, blah. Shalom.